Hi there, so today I'm going to draw a Cthulhu Shoggoth creature. Now that's like a creature with tentacles and other stuff, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a base, like light ink with a grey colour. Now this is mixed acrylic that I've got here, white and acrylic just to make grey, and then quite a bit of water because I want it to be real watery. I think it's the quite light, so I can just start painting a shape now. This is like a good technique to use. It sort of like creates like a base coat, and you can just think of some kind of shape that you want to do. You can do any sort of tentacle shapes really. Maybe it doesn't matter if it drips and that, because it just adds to the artiness of it. I want it to be a solid mass at the top and then all these tentacles like trailing off towards the bottom. Oh, that move then. The easel moved slightly. I don't have to press too hard, I don't think. Now I've got to work out on this, particularly when it dries. I'll maybe just finish that one. It's another tentacle. Work out where the eyeballs are going to go, but that comes in like the drawing stage, you know, with ink pens and things like that, because you can follow the lines that you've already done, or just maybe add some more. I don't know if it needs any more really. Maybe just a couple more. So I've established that it needs like a solid mass right at the top. So we've got our shape there that I want to try and create something out of, like a creature type thing. And I'm going to wait until this dries first, so I may need to wait like, well, for you it'll be like a couple of seconds, but for me it'll be like 15 minutes. Right, so that's near enough dry. I've left it take 10 minutes. So I want to do some darker shapes within, stuff that isn't thinned out. So this will be probably marking in the darker areas. We need a bit more dark grey in there. Mix it in. Nope. Don't matter if it drips, because it just adds to the whole. In fact, I'll just add some nice drips and things like that. Visual interest. Now I'll definitely have to let it dry after this. Don't matter if it drips like it has. Some of them drips could be like slime off, you know, coming off the creature as well. So let's try and get that one to drip. There we go. Quite a few, maybe. Go on, drip. Drip. There we go. Maybe. Come on, get that one to drip. There we go. Right. So we've still got our established shape of the tentacles and stuff that we can follow. We've got some nice drips that we can add more to later. We've got the central focus. I can sometimes, you know, make shapes out of that. Maybe make some eyes or draw in between. I don't know. We'll see what we do when it's actually properly dried now. Right. So we've got our framework there. Can still see the tentacles quite clear. Some of the drips we can just keep clear you know, and just draw around it and try and figure out where all the eyeballs are going to go. And I'm going to try and do a few teeth or little mouths like hidden, but we'll see how it goes. So I've just got a gel ink pen, that's all I really need for this. Just going to have to angle this. I took this off the easel because it was wobbling slightly. So once I start, it's not as flat as I'd like, but I can start working out where these eyeballs are going to go. The best thing to do is just make a start. So here, some eyeballs. Maybe not make them even, so I can have them different. So it's just about working out the placement of the rest of the eyeballs. I want it to be quite a few eyeballs mixed in, like, because it's a creature thing after all. Particularly the way I've drawn it, it's like a floating mass of tentacles, eyes, and there's going to be a couple of mouths, I think, on this, just to make it a bit more, I don't know, frightening looking or something. I don't know. Not really frightening to me because I draw this stuff all the time. I really like drawing this type of stuff and seeing if it works, and you know, for the drawing to come together. So I'm just inking out the outlines now. I think that's important to try and follow the painted or the loosely painted shapes that I've already done. You know, just to see how I connect everything up is the best way. So I really like this method of laying down the paint first and then trying to make sense of that, and going with an ink pen like I'm doing and trying to pick out areas and, you know, chip away at the details and things like that. Yeah, I'm like drawing a mouth with teeth. I don't want it to be too many mouths on here, mainly like eyes and tentacles, you know, and the details surrounding that. Want it to be like a bit of shadow under the eyes, just to make them eyes stand out later on. I'll probably paint them white, just to brighten them up a bit, because this drawing is going to get a bit dark. There's a large eyeball there. That's maybe the central eyeball, perhaps, and behind that will be the brain or something, you know. Just trying to make it up as you go along, really. But really, the shape that I've painted before has helped me a lot. So just have to layer over them tentacles and again, just try and make sense of the drawing. This is a technique that I should use more. I quite like it as well, just like laying down like a grey colour and inking over the top. It's always a good way of working sometimes. It's a different way of working, you know, like you have to get used to it. But I definitely like to do this more, particularly with creatures, because you can just make things up as you go along and see how well they work, and if it works for you, then good. You could do this technique. I think it's always worth trying different ways of drawing things and coming up with ideas. As I said, I'm just doing the outlines, as you can see, of everything. Minimal shading at the moment, because you can add that, like, you know, right towards the end and things like that. So as I'm just making this up as I go along, I'm sort of thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking I could draw another version of this, but draw it differently. And sometimes that sort of like can mess with your head a bit, and disrupt the flow of the drawing, but I always think of starting other drawings halfway through, actually trying to finish the original drawing, and that's usually a distraction. But I welcome them distractions because you always got to keep thinking what's next. These drawings, are they going to be like proper finished drawings, or are they just going to be like sketchy, or am I going to carry on until I can't carry on anymore with this drawing, but this one in particular, or am I going to just start another drawing, which I often do sometimes, halfway through. Usually I get like a bit excited by one drawing, and I think, if I draw it a different way, start another drawing and just see if that pans out as well. It's always worth having a few drawings on the go at once, sort of a thing. That way you create a few drawings that are like similar, like different variations of the same theme, and I'd like to do more of these, particularly these Cthulhu type creatures, which are really sort of like fantastical and of the cosmos, and all that cosmic horror stuff. Particularly as I've read a few of H P Lovecraft's stories. Didn't particularly, when I was a kid, I didn't really pick up on the sort of racist undertones of some of his work. I sort of like picked that up later on, but it's definitely part of his belief system at the time, I think, and whatever reasons that just formed in his stories. But that wasn't the focus. I was more interested in the descriptions of the creatures, and like the way the horror was described in a lot of H.P. Lovecraft stories. Really fantastic ideas, like ahead of his time, and he just he didn't really become famous until he died. Actually, the things just like I think he was semi-famous, but not really totally like authors of our age now, like Stephen King and things. They're still living, still living authors. But that's sometimes the case with dead artists or something. They become more famous when they're actually gone, which is a bit sad. But then that's life, I suppose. So these creatures, I want to like research a bit more into them again, because I've sort of forgot the names of certain gods and other stuff, and in the Lovecraft world, and it would be nice to draw different types of creatures again. I know that this is like a Shoggoth creature, which I think it's the one that's described as like tentacles and eyes, and like I can't remember, I forget how it's described in the book, but in the stories, but it's quite interesting, the descriptions of it. Some of them are quite, it leaves it, the author like leaves some of the descriptions like open-ended, where they can just be whatever your imagination comes up with when you're reading it, so that's why there's no proper definitive look of certain creatures. But that's the fun of it, I think. I like drawing tentacles and stuff. you know, if you've seen a lot of my work, it's skulls, zombies, demons, and a lot of them feature tentacles and other horror elements. So yeah, so you can see I'm darkening some areas now. Takes a lot of time trying to add a lot of ink details in certain areas, but I found that you spend a bit more time on a drawing, you can see it come together. How you, not necessarily how you thought of it in your mind's eye, just the way it's appearing on the page. It's satisfying, you know. I think it is when I'm drawing. So yeah, I don't particularly know what type of other creatures there are, but I'm going to have to definitely look into it, because I want to do more of these Cthulhu creatures. But I know some of them are like massive, like gods, like Cthulhu. Like I've seen images of him coming out of the sea, and he's got like big wings and things and stuff like that. I'd like to draw some stuff like that, and you know, just have a go at drawing different concepts, and you know, see if I can draw some, just do some cool stuff. Really, that's what I really like to draw. So yeah, it is a slow process adding all this ink detail and stuff, but it's worth it once you see the drawing at the end. And yeah, get till I'm running out of things to say. But I think somewhere towards the end I add like thicker lines under the tentacles. I've said this before, like it's like about adding line weights. I usually do that right at the end, because it just creates a nice, well, it's rather than having a flat drawing, it just creates an extra depth to it, you know, like a dimension and like a weight to the creature. So that's why I like to do that towards the end. So there's a lot of like hatching, ink work, and like just basic scribbles I'm just doing, really. I like to work that way, like now, especially doing these creature drawings. It's really sort of organic type, you know, like creatures, and you know, there's like different bits of flesh and stuff, and on the tentacles, and trying to define them and stuff like that. That's the best way of working, really. So yeah, excuse me. I'm trying to do more of these talking over videos, but it's just trying to work out what to say to keep it going for the length of the video, and I'm like about halfway through. And yeah, it's a challenge. So if I just end up just talking about something else, then I probably will, you know. So yeah, what's the coronavirus? All that stuff's a bit mad. Yeah, people panic buying and stuff like that, and so then you just don't end up with any toilet roll, and you know, like no bread, you know. And I went into the shops the other day, and there's like empty shelves where the bread was, empty shelves where the toilet roll was, and then on the other shelf, right near the toilet roll, there was a lot of soap. And I was thinking, you'd think that like all the soap would sell out as well, because people would be like wanting to wash their hands all the time. But no, I think they want to use the bread and the toilet roll to wash their hands instead, I think. It's a bit mad, really. people just panic buying and hoarding all the little essentials like bread and toilet paper. I just think it's ridiculous, really, but it's the way of the world, really. People looking out for themselves, but it's a bit sad. But I think if it isn't a serious event, but then there's always like stuff going on. There's people dying from flu and regular flu, influenza or whatever they call it. Just I think it's just because it's in the media. I think it's been made into more of a thing. I don't know. Or it could be more of a thing. I don't know. Right? I don't really know, to be honest. Don't know why I'm even talking about this. I think it's just because it's on my mind, really. Yeah, it's I thought 2020 was going to be the year that things had changed for the better, but I don't know. It started off a bit shaky, I thought World War III was going to happen. With all that Iraq or Iran or whatever country it was, business, missiles and everything, but that was on the news and there was a panic about that, and then there was people joking about it on social media and things like that, and then it just disappeared. And so I don't know if that's what happened to this coronavirus. It'll get under control. I don't really know, to be honest. It's scary, but then I don't know if the media's made it that way where it feels more scary. I don't know. Unless it's the start of the rise of Cthulhu or zombie apocalypse. I don't know. I don't really know. I think I've been watching too many films and reading too many books, and yeah. So yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Bat soup, the Chinese do it. Chinese eat it, but I don't know if it started because of bat soup or live bat soup. Is it? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about, to be honest. Anyway, let's get back to this drawing. You can see it's coming together a bit now. Like I've darkened under the eyeballs. So, like I said earlier, I like to paint them white so they stand out a bit more later on. And it's just about adding way more details. I like going over the top with details. I added a cheeky eye there as well that wasn't there. I just thought I'd add another one. You can never have too many eyeballs on a creature. Yeah, so a lot of these tentacles need thickening up with more inclines and shadowed areas. If I would have thought about this a bit more, I would have darkened with some darker grey on certain areas, like underneath where I'm doing the shadowed areas on them tentacles. I would have darkened one half of them, but it's still affected the grey that I've laid down anyway. So, but it's always worth trying to plan things out, trying to plan sketches and stuff like that, but often with these ones I just make it up as I go along. It's usually the best way. The best way to create artwork is always trying new things and coming up with different ways of trying to get them ideas down. That's why I'm trying to learn myself acrylic painting a bit, because I need to pick up a few more things with that. I've been watching a few YouTube videos here and there from people who've been doing it, painting more than I have. I've been focusing on these ink drawings for way too long, but I'm glad I did because I've improved, obviously. But yeah, I want to pick up painting again and maybe paint some large canvases and some large murals eventually. There was an opportunity, I think, about a year ago to do some mural work, but I sort of, well, not sort of, I chickened out, and rather than meeting new people who would be there, I just overthought about it too much, and I just didn't end up doing it. But I'd like to try and push myself out of my comfort zone and, you know, try and do these things. That's been difficult, but, you know, it is what it is. I just socially awkward. Always have been. I just don't overthink too much about things. In the end, I shouldn't give a fuck really, because I'm getting older. I'm 41 now, so I should just do things, because I don't know, if I don't do them, I'll never do them. So there's a bit of advice there, a bit of advice for myself as well. I should listen to my own advice. Yeah, I think now's the time to do this, because you never know what could happen. Not to be too depressing, but, you know, I've had a few health scares the last year, so I want to try and get, you know, things sorted, just things done. And drawing is a large part of my life, so I just want to just try and make something of it, you know, whether that's creating my own projects or doing work that I really want to do, and not drawing stuff that I'm not really interested in, or it doesn't motivate me to draw. Particularly, I had a few requests to draw certain things, and some of them requests just, I don't know, I'm interested in drawing them, but am I motivated to draw them right this moment? I don't think I am. I've got other plans in my mind that I want to try and do, and, you know, I get distracted enough. It's not to say that I won't do these requests, you know. I've had a request video from quite a few years ago that I never followed through with. The story of my life, just saying I'm going to do things and never do them, or never get around to do them. Maybe the intent's there, but the actual action to do it just doesn't happen. But that's why I want to change things. I want to get these things done. Like I said, you only live once, and if you sort of regret things, then that's no good. Don't want to live life, you know, like regretting not doing anything or not trying to do what you really want to do in life. And for me, that's drawing. I don't want to ever work a normal job ever again. Hopefully, if I can help it, because I know full well if I, you know, work a normal job, it's going to be depressing, and I'm going to have a lot more problems that I just don't need. So this video marks the start. Even though I've started beforehand, I've started to exercise the last few weeks. Little exercises, nothing great at the moment, like a few little runs here and there, and runs not on the toilet, you know, like diarrhea out, you know, like run with my legs. And yeah, I plan to do more, hopefully. I'm not a fan of going to the gym. All the people there, it's like, I don't know, I'm just not really a fan of that. I tried doing that before, and I just ended up just being stood there looking at you know, weightlifting and not doing anything. So yeah, I think other types of exercise that I can fit in, even walking, just do that. Eat better and cut out a lot of the crap. Yeah. So yeah, this video sort of like marks a start, and I'm painting the white eyes there, as you can see. It really helps bring them eyes out on that creature. Yeah, quite like that. I can imagine painting them green as well if I was to colour this, but I'm not colouring this. I could probably make a photocopy of this and colour that photocopy at a later date, at a later time. It's always worth revisiting ideas. Sometimes I've done that, you know, where I've come back to a drawing and decided to colour it. Here I am adding the thicker line underneath that I mentioned earlier. It's really interesting to add that because it does create a sort of weight to the creature. But only do it under the areas that are going to be under, you know, the shadow, and try and leave like a thinner line on the top of the tentacles, or whatever areas like where the light's going to hit it more, and then it can just act as, it really brings them tentacles out a bit more, especially when I finish doing this. It really does. It brings some of them tentacles forward and not like all flat and mushed together. Yeah. I'm quite liking this more now towards the end. I was unsure at the start, but you usually are on some drawings. You're not sure if they'll work, but that's the process I like, really. You just go through the drawing and, you know, see if it'll work. Enjoy the process of the drawings, you know. That's the best part about drawing for me. That and the inking stage, which I'm doing now, is you can have way more details and just flesh out the drawings. Yeah, so I think I did want to do more of them, like that, you know, them dark drips that I did. I think I just left them. Doing this voiceover like a bit later on, I can't remember if I did. Don't think I did. I might have gone over them. I think I did a little bit, yeah, but not too much. Yeah, but you can see the drawing just comes together and becomes more improved, and there's them little slime sticky things where each like tentacles, you know, like black slime in between them, just to add a nice horrible slimy thing. Sort of just an extra detail just to add anyway. So I'm coming to the end of this drawing, and I hope you liked this drawing. If you want to see more of these drawings, I'm going to be doing more of these real-time drawings anyway, and trying to talk over, you know, the video or the, you know, the drawing or creature that I'm doing. But if I go off on a tangent, then like I did with the corona thing, then I'll just do that. You know, it's the more that I add to this video, it's just discussion and art discussion. So check out the playlists and see you in the next video.